What does the statement I am mean? I am means awareness. I am is the state of meditation. It is the state of potential before we collapse our reality. It wasn't even a question of if, it was a question of when. So if you want more for yourself, it is about becoming aware of the fact that you have infinite potential. This can be the first episode of Book Club. The book we're going to be going over is Infinite Potential, the Greatest Works of Neville Goddard. And I want to break down kind of the biblical allegories that are kind of lost in translation in a lot of religion and a lot of spiritual coaches, a lot of this, a lot of that. And I really like the way it breaks this down from the Bible. Let's start off the top. The question, whom do you say that I am, is not addressed to a man called Peter by one called Jesus. This is the eternal question addressed to oneself by one's true being. In other words, whom do you say that you are? For your conviction of yourself, your opinion of yourself will determine your expression in life. I'm a firm believer that all of the allegories in religion are metaphors for our individual human experience. But it is not the human experience. It is the soul's experience of awakening and the things we go through on our journey to connect with ourselves, our true selves. That is why we have the statement, to know thyself. Praying then is seen to be recognizing yourself to be that which you now desire. Manifestation. Rather than its accepting form of petitioning a God that does not exist for that which you now desire. So that's the idea that we should not pray for something outside of ourselves. We should look within and channel the frequency and energy of what we want. Now, I kind of want to dive a little deeper into some of these things that is going to make sense. So do not question the how of these things appearing, for no man knows the way. That is, no manifestation knows how the things will appear. Consciousness is the way or door through which things appear. He said, I am the way, not I, John Smith, am the way, but I am the awareness of being is the way through which the thing shall come. Now I'm going to break this down because that's really complicated. That's why we're doing book club, because a lot of the spiritual teachers talk in these grand kind of symbolic nature of things, which is great, right? They give you a symbol that can apply to your level of consciousness, but I'm going to break that down a little further to you. What does the statement I am mean? I am means awareness. I am strong. I am happy. I am healthy. But I am is the state of meditation. It is the state of potential before we collapse our reality. Now, in one of my other videos, I talked about the electron cloud, which means that the fundamental core of our quantum experience, the building block of our physical reality, the electron cloud, is 98% energy, which means it's 98% nothing. It is a frequency waiting to be collapsed into the physical reality through something called the observer effect. That means we only have a physical experience if we have an observer of it. So if I close my eyes right now, I cannot see my apartment. But as soon as I open, that physical reality collapses into physical form for an observer, because no one else knows this space exists unless you are observing it or you are conscious of it. That is why we have blind spots in a car, because there's a spot in our rear view mirror that we cannot see because we are unconscious of it. But if you are conscious and you look over your shoulder into the blind spot, you are now bringing the unseen into the seen. The signs always follow. They never precede. Things have no reality other than in consciousness. This is the electron cloud. The infinite potentiality that Joe Dispenza talked about, the great I am consciousness. Therefore, get the consciousness first and the thing is compelled to appear. Another biblical reference. You are told, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things shall be added unto you. This means get first the consciousness of the things that you are seeking and leave the things alone. This is the idea behind attracting, not chasing. Because if you're pursuing the things, you are chasing. But if you are adopting the frequency of consciousness for what you want, you are going to attract that. Which is by far the easiest way to do things, because we have certain wants, certain needs. It could be a list of 100 things. But if you unlock the frequency that is deserving and attractive to all of those things, you only have to do one thing, which is channel that frequency and let go of the old frequencies that do not serve you. So we have identified the Lord as your awareness of being, the I am. Therefore, to magnify the Lord is to revalue or expand one's present conception of oneself to the point where there is revaluation becomes natural. This means we are going to use the I am statement of awareness to rechannel the frequency of the things we want in life. The frequency you want needs to become natural. This apartment did not come easy when I was living in my mom's house. But in my mind, I knew it was me. I knew this was in my future. It wasn't even a question of if, it was a question of when. Because I was putting in the work, I was doing the hard things in my business, I was putting money away, I was overcoming $80,000 in debt. The fact I had the debt and chose to overcome it and not go bankrupt showed I was a fighter to the universe, and the reality started to channel that. The story of creation is given us in digest form in the first chapter of John. In the beginning was the Word. Now this very second is the beginning spoken of. It is the beginning of an urge, a desire. The Word is desire swimming around in your consciousness seeking embodiment. So it is a physical reality seeking manifestation through the infinite potentiality that is our mind, that is our divine consciousness, what is we are connected to, what we are born from and we go back to. I am, or the awareness of being, is the only reality. Things live only as long as I am aware of being them. So those brief moments you have doubt, those will only last as long as you let them, which is why meditation is such a good thing to get involved in. Because you start to learn to let these thoughts that do not serve you just pass like a river, a stream through your mind, and you're not identifying with it, you're not attaching to it. You're moving that out of your body because it does not serve you. Embodiment. The word or desire must be fixed or united with consciousness to give it reality. The awareness becomes aware of being the thing desired, thereby nailing itself upon the form or conception, and giving life unto its conception or resurrecting that which was heretofore a dead or unfilled desire. This is the idea behind the crucifixion and getting nailed to the cross. When you have this infinite form of awareness and you decide to attach it towards that urge, the demi-urge, the desire, it manifests. This is why being conscious of how we create reality is so important. Because there are small little things you do, thoughts you think, emotions you feel, habits you have, that are creating your reality on a fundamental level day by day. This is why I want you to understand the concept of awareness, and it is our first book club. The invitation given us in the scripture is to be absent from the body and be present with the Lord. The body being your former conception of yourself, and the Lord your awareness of being. So when you meditate, you detach from a version of yourself that you do not want to identify with anymore. You come into the awareness of the Lord and that state of being of infinite potential. You leave behind your present conception of yourself and assume the nature of the new birth. The only way to change your expressions of life is to change your consciousness, for consciousness is the reality that eternally solidifies itself in things round about you. We are energy. Our thoughts are energy. Our emotions are energy. This counter is energy resonating at a lower frequency. So if you want more for yourself, it is about becoming aware of the fact that you have infinite potential. And it all starts with the fact that I am.